Before No Jumper, I was making about 50K a week. So I was making about 200K months. But with the advent of No Jumper, I realized like the power of podcasts. Instagram and TikTok promotes reels and videos in the algorithm, and that's the easiest way to just cause discussion. You guys have the cutest podcast set up.
Do you mind if I use that on my website for branding?
Yes, I actually do mind.
Yeah.
I actually do mind.
I'm not asking you, Jack.
Okay.
Jack, what's up with your hair?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man.
No, we've started the podcast.
You look like one of those like TikTok guys. You know, like those like fluffy broom head TikTok guys.
Well, all right, let's just not cut to this camera for a little bit. Thank you so much for joining, Kazumi.
Thanks for having
really
me back
appreciate
again.
it. What brings you back to Las Vegas?
Well, we did this podcast a few months ago. I misinterpreted what the podcast is about, and I felt like I just talked about sex like 100% of the time, and I should have just talked about how sex makes me a lot of money 100% of the time. So I'm rebranding.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, what happened is we filmed with Kazumi. What was that, like 3-4 months ago?
I'm just a new girl.
It was quite some time ago, and we brought it on the podcast. It was, I don't know, a month or two after we shot with Stella, and that podcast did great. Everyone loved it.
People really liked that one.
And we had you on, and I feel like 95% of the conversation was just like,
I'm here to talk strategy and fun games and whatnot.
We make the podcast as if his grandma's watching, and she is.
Hi.
And so we want to make it appropriate for everyone's grandma.
Hi, Jack's grandma.
So, Kazumi, you're in Vegas because apparently you like to eat soup in Vegas and also do a bunch of podcasts in Vegas.
Yes, I come here for podcasts and soup, and that's the only reason I will come to the city.
I have seen you blowing up on like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, YouTube, everything.
So have I, actually. The amount of clips that are spiraling right now.
Me too. She's all over my feed everywhere.
Yeah. What's up with your
it's TikToks.
I
TikToks.
am like a cancer you just cannot destroy. You know who inspired me, actually? I hate this guy. I think he's my Hitler, but Andrew Tate and his affiliate program. I did something quite similar with my Discord where I had my simps make memes of me and like populate TikTok and just kind of just keep multiplying memes in rewards for nudes.
So you emulated the Tate marketing model.
It's basically like the antithesis of Tate, yeah.
But you did the same thing where you got people to make memes and stuff, posted it everywhere, hoped it went viral, and then that kind of like drove traffic to your OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of giving them money, you gave them nudes?
I gave them something of equal or higher value, yes.
No, you did not.
Yes. I gave them, it depended. Like sometimes I'd be like, okay, if something goes viral, that's a free video. Or like, let's say like if you get this amount of followers, I incentivize you in some certain way. But either way, I wanted a lot of people to see me all the time, everywhere, regardless of what your algorithm says. So
wow,
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Smart. So what's the threshold then? Is it like 500,000 views, 1 million views, or like what's the tier list?
I would say at this point right now, it's more so. I used to. I'm pivoting to focusing more on quality because some of my Sims memes were like, I was like, who? Like that's not funny. Like what the.
All right.
But I have my own team that like gets a lot of like what I do on podcasts, YouTubes, and skits, and they make their own little TikToks, and like people will make memes out of like what currently exists as well.
And how have you seen that transform your OnlyFans business? Do you see like that actually helps a ton? That's a viable business model?
Yeah, I just cleared my 5th million, so that's
really cool. What do you mean
cool.
Your 5th million?
So I made 4 million on April, and as of a few days ago I hit 5 million. So that was my fastest million I've ever made by myself, which is cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is that 5 million in like net?
5 million net, not gross.
Oh my god.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
The IRS is gonna love you.
They love me and I fucking hate them.
And the state of California too.
I know. I've been thinking about Vegas and like moving somewhere else. I've been thinking about ultimately moving to Europe. I just came back from Berlin a few days ago and I just found it I just felt like it made a lot more sense over there. Yeah.
Got it.
But it's just been kind of like, how do I make sure you're seeing me no matter what? You know?
Yeah. So you did $5 million in net profit basically since the beginning of your OnlyFans career?
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about the numbers, but how did you get into this specific business?
So specifically, I was a marketing executive before I had my OnlyFans, and during the advent of COVID, I wanted a remote job and I wanted residual income, and OnlyFans was kind of it. So I already was comfortable with people seeing me like that. I've already dealt with that social stigma without getting paid for it. So I was like, I might as well start making money off of it. But I didn't have a social media the first year. I made an OnlyFans because I didn't want my parents to find out and I just wanted to be super discreet. So I focused a lot on making memes. And that was kind of like how I would make a lot of my income first starting out.
How would you make a meme?
My first ever meme was a picture. I photoshopped a picture of myself on a Fox News headline saying I got kicked out of Harvard, and that blew up everywhere. It went on like World Star, it went on No Jumper, it went on all these other platforms, and I didn't have to get naked or be hot because I just didn't think I was a hot girl back then that would get followers for being hot. I felt like I could get followers for creating discussion, which is what I did.
Got it. But how would that then drive traffic to OnlyFans? If you're worried about your parents finding out, wouldn't that be very likely to be found out?
I just didn't want to. I think first and foremost, I just was really insecure of how I looked. I didn't think I fit the bill of what an Instagram model looked at the time. That was before I got boobs and a BBL and shit like that. So I just was like, I feel like the best way, and also just in general, you don't send your homies pictures of hot girls. You send your homies memes, you know, like what causes conversation, what creates a community are our memes. And I felt like that was also a safe way to get people onto my platform without me sharing too much.
Got it. So what's the Harvard meme? Could you explain this?
The Harvard meme was me pretending to get kicked out of Harvard, yeah.
For doing what?
For having an OnlyFans.
How did you spin that?
I mean, what do you mean how did I spin that?
Like how did you create it from like start to like how did you come up with the idea? How did you execute it? Where do you post it?
What I did was I made the meme and then I messaged. So at the time I would grow my following by buying promo. So you could message like big Instagram influencers, obviously big Twitter influencers and even like news outlets and have them like peddle out these stories. And I would pay them, and instead of hot pictures, I would send them these memes, and then people would argue in the comments or they would put it on their story and be like, what an idiot. And that would be how people would start blowing up my page.
And how much were you making before this meme blew up?
Before No Jumper, I was making about $50K a week. And that was
a week?
Yeah. So I was making about $200K months. For a while before I got into No Jumper and before I started like really getting myself in the limelight. But with the advent of No Jumper, I realized like the power of podcasts, which is why I'm here today, because I just feel like that's the easiest way to make a meme, because Instagram and TikTok promotes reels and videos in the algorithm, and that's the easiest way to just cause discussion instead of photoshopping my face onto fun things and stuff like that.
What were you like in like high school and before?
In high school, I was pretty slutty. I think I was really awkward. I wanted to be a film student. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
I went to film school ultimately in college. Like I actually went to community college and I wanted to be a screenwriter and stuff like that. I dropped out to do my marketing thing. But I was pretty awkward. I would say I always was pretty intense. You know, like I felt like in my marketing job and like in my film, like my mini film career, I was like just a very obsessive, intense person, and I just wanted to kind of conquer things.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think I've conquered OnlyFans just yet. I feel like people like Amarath have totally like done huge things of that space, but I've been like navigating like just how to take over the internet in different ways, like with YouTube and stuff like that. So I just made my YouTube.
Interesting.